How's it going, everybody? MyCupOfTea here, back in a reaction video, and it's time to continue the Journey to the West series. Yay, yay. Now, last episode was a bit of an episodic one, which was the same as, I think, episode 4, kind of. But basically, last episode, Tripitaka, Pigsby, Sandy, and the horse got captured by this demon group troop over here, and Sun Wukong was on his villainous Still Deep arc over here, just trying to get all the sacred treasures. He managed to free the squad. He beat some demons. He basically beat the demon group over here, and he got the treasure. But it was all basically a test. It was all a test by Lao Su, I believe. And he had to get the treasure back, and the demons weren't actually really demons. But yeah, that was basically like a quick summary. There's a lot of other stuff that happened, but that was like the main focal point. Sun Wukong wanted treasure. He got treasure. Couldn't keep the treasure. Had to get back the treasure. But yeah, oh yeah, Sandy also became somewhat useful. He took care of like this horde of enemies they had to fight against, while Pigsby and Sun Wukong handled like the demon brothers. But yeah, but now we're here with part 6, so let's just stop talking, put on my headphones, and let's get it. Let's get to learning.
Last time on Journey to the West. Let's see. Everyone got kidnapped. Monkey killed the 2 guys who did it and got a lot of swag, but then he had to give up the swag.
Well, there we go. I
and
keep forgetting
also
to
the 2 guys
recap.
were dead after all, but at least the kidnapping thing got fixed. Now after that narrative
All right,
concept,
yeah.
it's time to continue on the Journey to
I'm
the
about to let
West.
that recap
So
just
our
explain
heroes are
everything.
trekking
Okay, we'll
westward,
talk later.
having just wrapped up another wacky adventure I didn't see fit to animate, when they come upon a huge craggy mountain that's giving off some serious bad vibes. Monkey's starting to recognize a pattern when it comes to the gang dealing with ominous mountains.
Yeah, I don't know if you should go up the
to get a
mountains.
warning out before the mountain barfs out a huge red cloud that immediately lights up into a fireball. Like with a lot of demons they've faced, only Monkey can actually see the demon cloud, but the gang's learned to trust his judgment enough that nobody bats an eye when Monkey brings Tripitaka off the horse and prepares for combat.
There we
The
go.
demon in the
Thank
cloud
you.
notices Monkey noticing him, and deciding that it'd be best to avoid a direct confrontation with anything powerful enough to see him, vanishes back into the mountain. Monkey goes all, false alarm. Alright, let's keep moving, and bundles Tripitaka back onto the horse so they can get through the spooky mountain as quickly as possible. But the demon isn't gone, just plotting. He decides to try a more sneaky tactic to get close to the group, so he plops himself down about a mile
So let me move my mic out the way. It's blocking some of the captions. Alright, let's keep it going.
from the gang and turns himself into an emaciated little kid tied up and hanging from a pine
That's
tree.
not gonna
Then he
work.
starts
Sun
yelling for
Wukong can
help.
see demons.
Tripitaka's like,
Hey, it sounds like someone needs help.
and Monkey's like, well, good for someone. And
Yeah,
does a little
let's
spell
keep
to
it
jump
pushing.
their progress up the mountain so they're well out of reach. Add that to
That
the
was
list of
nothing.
things Monkey could do to make the entire journey moot that he won't do because it doesn't gel with the allegorical.
Wait,
Add
let me
that to the
see.
list of things Monkey
just-
and does a little spell to jump their progress up the mountain so they're well out of earshot.
You could basically just not teleport, like boost them along. Well, yeah, that would have made exploring way easier, like the past 2-3 episodes.
Add that to the list of things Monkey could do to make the entire journey moot that he won't do because it doesn't gel with the allegorical journey. Anyway, the demon kid is like, who the hell are those guys? And sees that they're inexplicably way farther up the mountain than he expected, and they've bypassed him altogether. So he catches up to them, plops himself down nearby, and repeats his helpless dangling orphan routine.
Yeah, that's
Of
gonna-
course,
that's
the
gonna
demon
work.
briefly returning to cloud form means Monkey once again spots the demon
Right.
cloud and tackles Tripitaka off the horse. So Tripitaka's almost too busy yelling at him to hear the oh so pitiful cries for help just over the ridge. But hear him he does, and Tripitaka finds the extremely helpless and pitiful looking child dangling from a nearby tree.
Look at Sun Wukong like, no, we're not doing this again. I know you're a demon. They don't know you're a demon, but come on now. Trust my judgment. I'm Sun Wukong. I know a demon when I see one.
The child
When they
introduces
listen?
himself as Red Boy and tearfully
Okay.
recounts his entire life story, which boils down to, my dad is dead and my mom has been abducted by bandits who left me to starve. Tripitaka is like,
I instantly believe you.
What?
Pigsy, cut this poor boy down.
Pigsy's like, I also instantly believe you,
What?
and you'll of course cut this poor boy down. But Monkey is like, guys, seriously, this whole thing makes no sense. Besides, even if he is telling the truth, everyone who could possibly take care of this kid is dead, so there's no point in rescuing him. This logic fails to convince the others, who rescue
What?
the boy and start on figuring out who gets to carry him. After
What?
running through the
No, I
options,
wanna see
Jake
what
fails
Sun
to
Wukong
convince
gotta
the
say.
others, who rescue the boy
It was a good point. It is a good point. Oh no, sir. His face is way too. Oh my gosh.
and start
Oh,
on
Sandy.
figuring out who gets to carry him. After running through the options, they settle on
Arrive with me. Oh no, I'm all delicate and stuff. Pissy could carry you, but he's so bristly. He wants someone. He wants Tripitaka to carry him. Okay, how about the monkey then? Sure, he looks nice. Wait, you want the monkey to carry you? Okay, Red. Kid, child, boy. What's the play here? Why you want the Monkey King, Sun Wukong, to carry you? Let's
on
see.
Monkey, who recalls his track record for carrying disguised demons and immediately agrees. So
Keep
Monkey
it a
carries Red
child.
Boy, who he notes with some amusement weighs barely 5 pounds, but gradually gets grumpier and grumpier with Tripitaka, both for making him carry this kid and for not
I would
listening to
too.
his
I
extremely
would
logical
too.
reasoning about leaving highly suspicious orphans well enough alone.
I would
Red
too.
Boy senses his building anger and surreptitiously attempts to weigh him down with magic, which Monkey thinks is
1,000
hilarious.
pounds.
Red Boy
Yeah,
freaks out and
you
drops
thought?
his body just in time to avoid getting ripped apart by Monkey and decides decides it's now or never on kidnapping Tripitaka. One giant whirlwind later, Tripitaka is gone, and Monkey is so thoroughly disheartened he tells Sandy and Pigsy they should disband right then and there.
He's like, I cannot believe he keeps getting captured. This is crazy.
Pigsy's like, finally! But Sandy freaks out and gives an impassioned
No.
and heartfelt speech about redemption and second chances, and it's so moving, even Pigsy changes his mind about
This
abandoning
is like the third or
quest
fourth
he's
chance
been
we've given
wanting
him.
to do since episode 2. Monkey shakes off his nobody listens to me
Okay, let's
funk
get
and
it
gets
though.
down to business figuring out where exactly Red Boy took Tripitaka. So they
All
search
right.
the area for clues for a while, but when nothing turns up, Monkey gets frustrated and pulls out the giant three-headed six-armed
Attack on
sword form
Titan
he
music?
used when he rampaged through heaven. He then starts lashing out in every direction, which turns out to have
you
been
do
more
that.
than just blind frustration and a well-documented lust for rampant destruction, as his emotional episode causes the local mountain gods to pop
Make
out
him
of their
stop,
hiding
make
holes so
him
Monkey
stop.
can interrogate them about where a demon might possibly be holding
Oh,
out. Now the mountain
smart,
gods tell
smart.
Monkey all about the demon.
I can read all this. A lot of complaining. No kidding. Wow, no kidding.
There's only one living on this entire enormous mountain because he is an absolute terror and has single-handedly made the whole place miserable.
Oh, dang.
Thanks to him, the mountain is so inhospitable that the gods barely have enough incense and offerings to get by, and the demon has been running a mafia-style shakedown racket demanding regular
Not a
tribute from the mountain
mafia-style
gods
shakedown.
despite the fact that none of them have any money. Now the demon in question is the son of the Bull Demon King, but was sent away to be raised
Bull
by
Demon King?
Rakshasi and spent many years cultivating
Sent away by Rashashi? Okay.
his
I remember
latent
these
fire
names.
controlling abilities to the point where he's now capable of calling on something called the true fire of Samadhi. After
Hmm.
he completed his training, the Bull Demon King sent him to guard this mountain, and he currently lives in this place called Fiery Cloud Cave, which the mountain gods give Monkey directions to. Now, as soon as Monkey hears that Red Boy is the son of the Bull Demon King, all his worries melt away.
Oh,
because
why?
you might recall from his origin story way back in episode 1, Monkey was actually friends with the Bull Demon
Oh, he was? Wow, that was so far ago. He was? Okay. Forgot about the Bull Demon King. Interesting.
King way back in the day, making Red Boy something approximating his nephew. Obviously, families never get in fights, so Monkey's confident that as soon as he
Obviously.
explains this to Red Boy, everything will be fixed and they'll get Tripitaka back no problem. So Monkey and Pigsy zip over to Fiery Cloud Cave and demand that Red Boy send out Tripitaka. Instead, he sends out these 5 weird carts and arranges them according to the 5 phases, and then comes out looking for a fight. Perhaps unsurprisingly, Monkey's little, "Hey man, I was friends with your dad 500 years ago," argument fails to persuade him to knock it off, and they fight.
Wait, what did he say? I'm sorry, I want to make sure I read all the some of the dialogue. I was friends with your dad a while back. I need to believe you nor care.
Little, "Hey man, I was friends with your dad 500 years ago," argument fails to persuade
This is no way to treat your sort of uncle. Stop talking. Come at
him
me.
to knock it off, and they fight. Pigsy observes that while they're roughly evenly matched, Monkey has Red Boy on the defensive, so in a bid for glory, he dives in and whacks him with his rake. Red Boy responds by diving into one of the carts from earlier and subsequently
Okay.
punching himself twice in the face. But
Why?
there's a method to his madness, as Red Boy recites a spell and
You're trying to rough yourself up so you can sue for so it's not gonna work.
immediately shoots fire out of
Oh.
every hole in his face. Fire also erupts from the carts, and while Pigsy books it across the river, Monkey makes a fire-repelling charm and dives into the inferno. But he
Okay.
can't find Red Boy in all the smoke, so he jumps clear of the fire and returns to the others, specifically to tear Pigsy.
I'm gonna make sure I read this. You call that having my back? Hey, some of us aren't fireproof. I'm not fireproof, I'm just impulsive. I can't have your back if I'm roast pork. Not with that attitude. Okay. Alright, I love the bickering.
A new one for bailing just when the fight was getting good. They argue strategy for a while until Sandy recommends that, since Red Boy's hand-to-hand combat skills are relatively underdeveloped and he seems to mostly rely on his fire powers
Yeah.
instead, maybe they should focus on finding a way to put out the fire instead of just arguing. So
Facts,
Monkey
okay,
jets off
reasoning.
to the Eastern Ocean to conscript the help of one of the Dragon Kings in whipping up a little rainstorm. After hemming and
showing up
hawing
in the
over
Dragon
paperwork
King's
for a
place.
while, since making a proper storm requires the approval of the Jade Emperor, the
I
Great
guess
Dragon
so.
surreptitiously loans Monkey one of his armies and sends him back. So Monkey heads back to the cave with the Dragon army hiding in the clouds overhead and picks another fight with Red Boy, who again starts lagging behind and busts out the flames of Samadhi when the fight goes south.
Okay,
the Dragon
okay.
army breaks out the rain, but the flames react unexpectedly to the downpour and actually get stronger.
Oh, water makes his flames fire. The true fire of Samadhi strong. Okay, interesting.
Because the true fire of Samadhi is too powerful to be put out by an unlicensed thunderstorm.
Ah, never
when
mind,
Monkey
okay.
tries to find Red Boy among the
This
flames,
is nicely
the demon
animated,
ambushes him
or
and
drawn.
blasts smoke in his eyes, blinding him. Now, as has been previously established, Monkey is fairly fireproof, but technically he's only immune to normal fire and heavenly fire. The true fire of Samadhi isn't either of those things.
Oh, he's
and is
actually hurt.
managing to hurt
Oh,
him.
wow.
Red Boy smokes him again, so Monkey blindly launches himself out of the inferno and into the nearest river, where the temperature shock knocks him out. The Dragon army freaks out and summons Sandy and Pigsy to help Monkey, and
I'm sorry. I want to make sure I know what type of fire is this. Sorry.
technically he's only immune to normal fire and
Normal and
heavenly
heaven, yeah,
fire.
yeah.
The true fire of Samadhi isn't either of those things, and
Okay,
is
just
actually
not-
managed
it's
to
just-
hurt
okay,
him.
something
Red Boy
different,
smokes him
alright.
again, so Monkey blindly launches himself out of the inferno and into the nearest river, where the temperature shock knocks him out. The Dragon
Actually,
army
it's actually
freaks out
see him
and
get
summons
hurt.
Sandy
Did not
and Pigsy
expect to
help
see him
Monkey.
get hurt
You know
in
it's
this one.
serious because they use their actual celestial titles instead of their nicknames.
Mm.
Sandy fishes him out of the water and freaks out in turn because
Oh, wow,
looks
he was
pretty
actually
dead.
hurt.
But
Oh.
Pigsy scoffs, elbows elbows him to one side, and revives Monkey with a few well-placed smacks on the back. Score 1 for Pigsy actually doing something beneficial for a change. So Monkey's alive, but is fairly messed up, both emotionally and physically. The fact that he can't rescue Tripitaka is almost taking more of a toll on him than the whole being set on fire and nearly drowning thing. So he concludes that since they can't solve this on their own, the only thing to do is to go and get Kuan Yin's help. Unfortunately, he's too weak to make the journey, which means Pigsy has to do it instead. So Pigsy sets off southward towards Kuan Yin's place, but Red Boy notices him leaving and realizes the only thing in that direction is Kuan Yin, so that's probably where Pigsy's heading. So
Red
he
Boy's
takes a
pretty
gamble,
smart.
transforms to look like Kuan Yin, and intercepts Pigsy. He tells Pigsy that Red Boy is an eminently reasonable guy, and they should just go to his cave and talk things out with him, and of course the minute they
That didn't work the first time, Paisley. What do you mean? You saw what happened when Sun Wukong went there saying, hey, I'm your uncle. You know that didn't work. He's so gullible. He's so gullible. Everyone's gullible, but Sun Wukong.
get to the cave, Red Boy ambushes Pigsy and takes him prisoner. Meanwhile, Monkey gets a bad feeling about how long Pigsy's taking and drags himself off to the cave to see what's wrong. He reflexively picks a fight with the guards, but immediately realizes he won't actually be able to take them in a fight, so he transforms into a fancy but harmless gold scarf, which the guards bring into the cave. After a little duplicate and replace action, Monkey turns into a fly and starts snooping around. There he finds Pigsy tied up in a bag yelling about how he got tricked, but before Monkey can break him out, he overhears Red Boy ordering 6 of his minions to go and invite the Venerable Great King over to dinner. Monkey takes a gamble on who the Venerable Great King might be and takes a page out of Red Boy's book by transforming himself to look like the Bull Demon King, then intercepting the minions en route and heading back to the cave with them. So Red Boy is like, Father, you won't believe what I've caught. It's that reincarnation of Golden Cicada, the monk Tripitaka. And Monkey's like,
Whoa, Tripitaka? But I hear he's under the protection of the terrifying and devastatingly handsome Sun Wukong. You best be careful. That tricky monkey could be anywhere, looking like anyone. His shape-shifting powers sure are impressive, is what I'm saying.
There's nothing impressive
he's
about
believing
that
it.
monkey, and his powers can't be that versatile. I'm sure I'd recognize him at a glance.
Oh, you'll be
You
surprised.
sure about that?
Anyway, Monkey says
You
he'd
sure
love
about
to
that?
eat Tripitaka, but he just can't today. See, he's trying out this
meat,
new
no
diet
meat, no
where you go
meat.
vegetarian 4 days a month, and, well, he doesn't want to break his streak. But Red Boy gets
right.
suspicious at that because his dad is always down for human snacks. So Red Boy's like, hey, Father, do you know it slipped my mind, but, any chance you could tell me the exact hour and date of my birth? And Monkey's like,
Oh, well, I'm far too old to remember such a weirdly specific fact about you.
and Red Boy's like, my father never shuts up about my birth. And
Seriously, what
Monkey
a nerd.
reveals himself, throws in a last bit of sassing, and vanishes in a flash of light. So Monkey returns to Sandy, feeling refreshed and renewed from
Yeah, I
pulling
got
him
him,
over
I
on
got
his
one
opponent.
on him.
He uses his renewed enthusiasm for life to jet off and find
Okay,
Kuan Yin.
good,
So
good.
Monkey arrives at Kuan Yin's mountain and info dumps the situation. Kuan Yin responds with characteristic
Okay,
grace and
really.
nonchalance until she learns that Red Boy impersonated her, at which point she flies into a rage and hucks her sacred vase into the ocean.
Oh God! Do not impersonate Kuan Yin. Do not do that. She will flip.
Until she learns that Red Boy impersonated her, at which point she flies into a rage and hucks her sacred vase into the ocean. Turns out she kind of did it on purpose, though. Neck the turtle brings the vase back to her, and when she asks Monkey to pick it up and bring it over, he finds that he can't lift it, because as it turns out, it's been filled with an ocean's worth of water.
Ocean's worth of
Kuan Yin
water?
tells
That's
him that
crazy.
The water in the vase can put out the flames of Samedi, but since Monkey can't carry it, and she doesn't trust him with any of her servants or possessions, it looks like she's got no choice but to go
she had to
in
get
and
into the
take care of
action.
problem herself. So
Oh.
after some banter and shenanigans, Kuan Yin, her servant Moksha, and Monkey start heading for the mountain. Along the way, Kuan Yin borrows the Swords of Constellations from a friendly Devaraja and transforms them into a replica of her lotus platform. When they get to the mountain, Constellations
what
from
did
a friendly
Sun Wukong say?
Devaraja and transforms
We can go back and get the original if you forgot it. Monkey, stop talking.
them to a replica of her lotus platform. When they get to the mountain, Kuan Yin summons all the mountain gods, orders them to evacuate every living creature within 300 miles, and then
Okay.
dumps out the vase. The
Oh,
ocean
that's
that
why.
results perfectly mirrors her home in the Southern Sea. Then she takes
Much
Monkey's
better.
hand, paints the character for delusion on it, and orders him to go pick a fight with Red Boy and lure him back to her. So Monkey goes and kicks a hole in Red Boy's front door,
Hi,
then
nephew.
lures in Kuan Yin. Monkey vanishes into Kuan Yin's divine aura, and Red Boy decides that this is in no way a trap and is in fact the perfect time for him to pick a fight with a bodhisattva.
Like you do, very reasonable from Red Boy. I mean, I would do the same thing too. Pick a fight with Kuan Yin, out of nowhere, no trap, just random water out of nowhere. I would, nothing suspicious about this
He
one.
goes to whack Kuan Yin with his spear, but she vanishes, so he resorts to yelling insults into apparently empty air. In fact, Red Boy is so confident in his triumph over Monkey and Kuan Yin that he thinks maybe he'll just take a seat
Those are the
right
swords,
here
right?
on
Yeah,
this
those are the
big
swords.
fancy lotus platform
It's gonna get skewered.
she's so proud of. So Kuan Yin does a thing with her vase, and the lotus platform reverts to its true form, aka a metric ton
Yep,
of swords,
yep.
with predictably painful results for Red Boy.
Hey, wait, hold on. What do you say?
Reverts to its true form, aka a metric ton of swords, with predictably
So I know I never say this, but if this is how you handle dress, Thanks for dropping a mountain on my head and feeding me molten copper for 500 years.
Painful results for Red Boy. So Red Boy freaks out as Kuan Yin reveals herself and begs
Make
her to
it
make him a
stop.
servant and also make the stabbing go away. One quick haircut later, Kuan Yin does just that, dispelling the swords as well as Red Boy's many and exceedingly uncomfortable injuries. True to form, Red Boy's confidence immediately returns, and he
What were you
declares the
doing?
whole thing a trick and charges Kuan Yin. Monkey dives in to block the attack, but there's no need, as Kuan Yin throws a golden ring at Red Boy, which splits into 5 that constrict around his wrists, ankles, and neck.
Ooh.
Monkey recognizes what's up, and as Red Boy moves to attack
Getting
again, Kuan Yin
sealed.
recites a spell that's similar but not quite the same as the
getting
migraine
the
spell, and the
migraine.
rings
Yeah, yeah.
immobilize Red Boy completely. So Kuan Yin's like, okay, this is mine now, go rescue your man.
This
And
is
Monkey
mine
gets it back
now.
to Sandy to do just that. Pigsy and Tripitaki get rescued.
Why do you smell like smoke? Got set on fire twice. I thought you were fireproof. Nope, just stubborn. Are you? No, he's impulsive. Are you okay?
Dude, Kuan Yin gets a new servant, and everything's cool again, so our heroes can continue on their journey to the west. Will Tripitaka ever escape his constant string
No,
of kidnappings?
never,
Will
never.
Monkey learn to call for backup before getting set on fire?
Maybe.
And is this the last we'll hear of the Bull Demon King?
I doubt it.
Find out next time on Journey to the West.
And we pause right there because we're about to go to the next part. Okay, well that was actually a very interesting episode. That might be my not counting like the first 3. Like return to like the episode, like every episode's like a new adventure. Right now, this might be my favorite one because one, we saw difficulties with Sun Wukong. He actually had to face, he is actually in very deep trouble. Like he couldn't just brute force his way through it. Even with trickery, it still didn't work out in his favor in the beginning. He had to actually call help and almost died. It looked like. Didn't expect to see Kuan Yin actually get involved. She didn't really like fight, but she was a very big factor in like winning this. I guess you could say this battle between Red Boy. Yeah, so we learned a lot of new things though. We learned that Sun Wukong has the power to like make people like just make you move faster, teleport you kind of. He's not fireproof per se. Depends on the fire. He could be hurt. Tripitaka's still the same gullible, not resistant. What's the opposite of resistant? Easily kidnappable. Everyone's still gullible besides Sun Wukong. And yeah, this is interesting. I'm curious, will they ever, they're probably gonna get to the west to get the Tripitakas from Buddha. But I'm just curious what's next on their adventure. Hopefully next episode they trust Sun Wukong, when he's like, hey, don't pick up that enemy or that person. That's an enemy. It's a demon. I can see demons. Why don't you guys believe me? There's been like 4 separate occasions where I've been right and you guys always get captured. And this horse it's a horse. I know it's a dragon really, but no, it's a horse. It's a bona fide horse because it just does not do anything unless it's really crucial. Curious about part 7 because just looking at the thumbnails alone, part 7 and later are looking pretty crazy. But that's gonna do it for this video. Hope you enjoyed my reaction and thank you for watching. My cup of tea is out of here. I'll see you later. Red Boy was actually putting the hands against Sun Wukong, man. Like, I'm actually surprised they didn't just downright just eat. Okay, no, that's why they didn't eat Tripitaka because he was waiting for his father to come over, who was a nerd. His father's a real nerd to remember his son's exact time, date, year, whatever for his birthday. That's crazy. That's crazy.